guys just mentioned, the total height of these towers is 650 feet. Setbacks is 1,500 feet, but 1,500 feet's from the tower. If you increase the size of these wind turbines, and if the blade is part of a wind turbine, which it is according to the environmental impact statement of years ago, that the width also has to be mentioned. The setbacks were not set for the width of the wind turbines, they were set from the wind turbine itself, which was just the tower. By doing that, the blades are 140 feet long. The 1,500 feet right away is, subtracted by another 140 feet. Now, if you're going to make them even larger, you're even encroaching on your neighbor's property by an additional number of feet. No matter how big the turbine is, you're still getting wider and wider and wider, and encroaching on your neighbor's property, affecting his property values, and also all the effects of a wind turbine. I'm pretty close to a wind turbine myself, and years ago we went through all this, and I live right behind the Duesenberry Tower, actually. And
don't throw any darts at me.
no, I'm not throwing any. No, I'm not throwing any darts at you. But I also had a conversation with Jerry, and he said, "Gee, Steve, I'm sure sorry if I known what I know now."
And I know he said that.
Yep.
And McGinnis is the same way.
Yeah, yeah. But and I had that conversation with him right before he died. And if it gets bigger, then the effects of that is not only to McGinnis's, which is a closer property line than mine, but Greg and myself will be affected by your tower, and that doesn't include the noise. What nobody knows but me, because I live up down Kirkwood Road to Duesenberry to Wheaton. Now, sound travels, and back years ago, before they had hearing aids, you had people with a horn in their ear because it magnified the noise, okay? It does the same thing right down Kirkwood Road. I can hear the towers all the way down Kirkwood Road, all the way to the end, sometimes better than yours, because the wind comes from the west, right? And it comes right off the farm, right down the valley, and I can actually hear it noisier, and some days I hear both. And then in the wintertime, your tower being so close to me, I can feel when the blade goes by the tower in the wintertime, I can feel the vibration in my chest laying in my bed. So there's a lot of considerations of, additional setbacks that should be had, and width is a big part of it, because the blades not only are height, but everything's maximum height. Doesn't say anything about maximum width, but if you don't consider the maximum width, then you're encroaching on your neighbor's property without compensation. And I've always felt that was wrong. And I've always felt that the properties that they put these wind towers on were crunched in as close as they could. Mr. Simons knows this because, they wanted to maximize the amount of wind towers they could get so we could get the most money. And that's about all I have for now.
Next, Mark.
Randy, Riverton?
I'll pass, thank you, Mark.
That was the last on my list. There were a couple of people that walked in after, though, I believe.
Can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt if you folks pass a 650-foot amendment, that all the turbines on Dutch Hill will be 650 feet one day. Because why wouldn't they? If I was a developer, I would want those to be 650 feet. That's the most profit. So I'm convinced that, I know this is speculation, but if you pass 650, these will all go to 650 in 5 or 10 years. And I don't know how you're gonna do that with houses that are already right at the danger zone. You know, I mean, what are we gonna talk about in the future? Eminent domain? Is that what it's gonna come down to?
My understanding is that the setbacks are set at 1.5 times the height of the turbines, or the 1,500
100 foot plus
feet.
the height.
100 foot plus the height? Okay, so that already includes the blades.
No, it does, absolutely.
My house is 1,800 feet from the turbine, and 1,500 feet is the diameter for the setback.
That's for, to a non-participating dwelling from the center of a turbine tower, yes.
So I'm 300 feet from the danger zone. So half of my property, I've lost the right to build a home there. I've never been compensated for that, I never will be. If you
I'll
go
just say
bigger,
it doesn't work backwards. You could build a home there, it's just you may not want to.
oh, I could.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was under the,
Oh, you can build it, but you gotta sign a waiver.
Yeah.
oh, you have to sign a waiver,
You
well,
won't get insurance or a mortgage.
yeah, no, that's.
You won't get insurance or a mortgage, correct?
Okay. Yeah, well, who's gonna wanna buy it? Really, I mean, who's gonna wanna buy it? And if you go to 650,
Cohocton Town Board.
my house is gonna be devalued to the point where I might as well just walk away, because nobody's gonna wanna buy it. Plus, who's gonna repair the roads? If you go to 650, do you guys realize that the gearbox weighs 188,000 pounds?
It's all covered with the road use agreement, and that's, I'm an expert at that.
You're gonna need a whole new road system when they're done.
And the developer has to pay for that. Anybody else?
So I'd just like to add, I think as Hans mentioned, there's clearly no precedent for an operating wind farm of 650 feet. To set a precedent for this board to take a decision over the course of 2 months, I think the planning board concluded that further research is required. I'd just like to remind the board, you're not only setting precedent for Cohocton, but other communities will then be potentially exposed to the precedent that was set here, clearly insufficient due diligence.
You do understand that the town of Dansville and the town of Wayland have already passed their amendment to go to 650
Well,
feet.
we're not them.
They don't have operational wind farms either, to understand the
But
consequences.
they've already passed the amendments to town board. To their wind loads.
Yeah.
But
We
the
don't
town
have to
of
follow
Sanford
suit.
and the Positive haven't yet. That's the caps, or the Bluestone project. They're still wrestling through this same kind of proceedings.
Those towns actually do not have height limits in their laws.
But the amendments were, because they just voted on stuff in there
Yeah, but.
to recognize it.
Right, they didn't establish the height limit, and the siting board, they granted them the certificate for the 670.
So you're talking about Broome County, and I think, Tom, you're talking about our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I just
talking
wanted to be
about
clear so
Broome
the
County.
board would.
There's no one else, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Adjustments to the agenda, we have to add historian's annual report to the receipt of reports. And also, last month, we approved the changes to the host community agreement, permitting agreements for CPP, but we never authorized me, the supervisor, to assign the amended CPP agreement. So that's number C under old business. Correspondence, Martha?
I have a few things, bear with me just for a second. I did not bring them in with me, but I just wanted the town board to be aware that we got a couple of Christmas cards from the local businesses around. I know one was Bennett Curie Collision, and I left them on my desk. I'm sorry, I can go get them if you need me to. Also, we received a letter from Patrick Wolf, but that is on your agenda. Did you want me to read the letter aloud?
No, you don't have to, just that it's concerning, what property it is.
53 University Ave.
Yeah, because we're gonna be discussing that.
Okay, then that's all I have for correspondence.
Okay.
If I could just add, I live at 53. My complaint is not about 53, it's about 59 University.
I'm sorry.
Oh, forgot to read the word adjacent to the property. Approval of minutes, 11/19/2019.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Any changes, further discussion? Martha?
Councilman Small?
Aye.
Councilman Dusenberry?
Aye.
Supervisor Johnson?
Aye.
Councilman Gilman?
Aye.
Councilman Towner?
Aye.
Next is a receipt of reports. I think we actually got, no, we didn't get a water one. We got everything else. Plus the historian's annual report.
I'll make a motion that we approve the reports.
Receipt of reports.
And second?
I'll second.
Just for clarification for the minutes, that's the supervisor, town clerk, dog control, highway justices, planning board, ambulance commissioners, code enforcement, police, assessor, and the annual historian.
That's correct.
Any further discussion? Martha?
Councilman Small?
Aye.
Councilman Dusenberry?
Aye.
Supervisor Johnson?
Aye.
Councilman Gilman?
Aye.
Councilman Towner?
Aye. Approval of regular abstract.
I'll make a motion, we approve the abstract.
I'll second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, just a second, where was it? Ambulance, overhead door, Canasteel Valley, what was that for? So they go through the door
The ambulance backed into the door, yes.
at the fire hall?
Just to
Was
be
the
clear,
town,
just to be clear, they've done that twice now.
was that, the town wasn't notified, right? So
Yeah,
they
we
could,
were noted, that was the, oh, no, that, yeah.
so that no one checked with insurance or anything like that to see if it could've gone through insurance? This is the first.
Nobody, I saw it, I didn't know it was, have any idea it was gonna be anything like that. I think there was a, the door was not all the way up and she clipped it with the top of the ambulance.
Any damage to the ambulance itself?
No,
You're just not following your SOGs when you're back in the ambulance, and you're not
they're
following
not using
procedures.
spotters, it's the paid staff.
The other thing is the town should be notified of any accidents so we can see if we can get it covered by insurance.
You didn't do an incident report or anything like that then?
No,
Like the
because it
last.
was done by the paid staff, and I was told by Billy Wagner that there was damage to the door. And then they went, we said just get it fixed, they had to get it fixed, there was no damage to the ambulance.
Could we get an incident report on it, so we have the date and all that stuff?
There'd be one at the fire hall.
Pardon?
There should be one at the fire hall.
Wanna get it, Mike?
We don't have one. I can look, but the first time it was hit, the damage wasn't too bad, and by the time they hit the second time, it had to be fixed.
When was the I've never heard of the
I
second
thought we
time.
fixed it the first time.
I don't know if, I don't recall it being fixed I'd have to look.
I think Billy
I think they, I
jury
thought they hit
rigged
it
it the
twice.
first time, right? And then
I think it was rigged the first time, and then they hit it the second time, and then it had to be fixed. They wouldn't, we had a hard time opening and shutting it, because then it wouldn't open.
Nope.
Any further discussion? Martha?
Councilman Smolak?
Aye.
Councilman Dusenberry?
Aye.
Supervisor Johnson?
Aye.
Councilman Gilman?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Old business. Mr. Attorney, I've got this set up as A, local law, and B, the resolution of negative declaration. Do we have to do one before the other?
You should do the neg deck before you pass the local.
Excuse me, Supervisor Johnson, was there any line item transfers?
No budget modifications or line item transfers tonight. Forgot to say that, thanks.
My notes.
I haven't had my own copies on this. There it is. No, that's not it. I see it somewhere. Need a motion for a resolution of negative declaration, what you've all gotten.
Could I just interject that you have to have a public hearing on the EAF?
Is that correct?
No.
What for?
You're doing an environmental study and the public has a right to comment on it, but they haven't seen it.
It's not, that's not what it's for, though. This is for a local law, and this is the only process that there is.
Seeker only requires a public hearing if the board is considering an environmental impact statement, and that would be following a positive declaration.
I'll make a motion that we approve the negative declaration.
I have a second? I'll second it. Any further discussion?
Do you want that to say negative declaration for, that's all you want your motion to say, is just to approve the negative declaration?
Yep.
Okay.
I got this today, which was saying that the town board looked at the seeker, looked at the environmental. So I asked for those, I got those today. I've taken into consideration what the planning board has said, and I believe they are correct, that it should have had a full review done by the planning board, just like all the rest of them have been done. I believe the seeker is not filled out correctly or completely. Some boxes are not checked. I'm appalled that the county approved it, but then they put this little caveat in there. It says has not revealed any significant intercommunity or county-wide impacts. Your decision should be based solely on your findings and the facts of the case. So that, to me, tells me they didn't look at the seeker, because if they looked at it, they would have seen what I saw, that things were missing. There is an ag district in the town of Cohocton. It is District AG 005, and in the seeker it says none. Did you guys notice that?
No, ma'am.
It also asked us if this was going to impact any agricultural land. I believe that's all the land it's gonna impact to build on, as agricultural. So it definitely should have been checked there. And you should have put down all the rest of them. Section D in here is the one I'm talking about. It specifically tells you the instructions you to fill it out. There are boxes there that are left unchecked. I, as a board member, have been to planning board meetings and have watched them go through it. They are the people that go to all the classes for the seeker, not town board members. They get the certifications. I look to them for input, knowledge. I don't have that knowledge.